Hello, race fans, and welcome to the H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series presented by Staples. My name is Brad Luce. Fans of H1 Unlimited look forward to the 2020 hydroplane racing season with great anticipation. There were rumors of a new race team, a new driver, new race sponsors were on board, and a number of teams talked of fielding two boats in 2020. But as winter turned to spring, words like the COVID and coronavirus were added to our vocabulary, and the concept of social distancing became commonplace. One by one, race sites were forced to cancel their 2020 plans in face of the pandemic. The season was lost. Aware their dedicated fan base was starving for some sort of racing action, H1 responded. The idea of a virtual racing season was born. A highly developed racing platform already existed, and there was a group of experienced drivers anxious to showcase their gaming skills on a bigger stage. An infrastructure of necessary administrative personnel was put in place, sponsors brought on board, and the H1 Unlimited E-League Hydroplane Racing Series was born. On May the 23rd, the virtual season kicked off from Guntersville, Alabama. It was a success, and it was fun. Social media platforms blew up with fans watching across the country. There were organized watch parties as fans adorned their favorite drivers and teams. 25-year-old Quentin Miller claimed that inaugural race victory with the bright red U12, the Graham Trucking. The three races that followed the season opener produced three new winners and a level of competition that has been nothing short of spectacular. Today, we are coming to you virtually from Mission Bay in San Diego, California, for the fifth and final stop on the H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Tour presented by Staples. In addition to the Home Street Bank San Diego Bayfair Championship, at stake also today is the season's National High Points Championship. And for more on that, let's bring in my broadcast partner again for today's racing from high atop Rikers Ridge in Madison, Indiana, Mr. Jeff Ayler. Hello, Jeffrey. How are you?
Brad, good afternoon. I'm doing great. Looking forward to this final race of the E-League Series with H1 Unlimited. And this points battle, on top going in is Fast Eddie Canfouche in the bucket list KISW Miss Rock with 5,085 points. Quentin Miller is in the second position with 4,159 points. And Cy Bowen hanging on by a thread in the third position in the virtual Turbinator. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware with 3,975 points. As we mentioned, it is the final race for the E-League drivers this year. Brad, our calculation team behind the scenes with H1 Unlimited, this is how tight it is for this points race going into this virtual San Diego race. A scenario: if Quentin Miller, currently in second, would have a perfect day today, 4 heat wins, and Eddie Canfouche would finish in third position in all his heats, Eddie Canfouche would still win by 1 point after we're done racing today. Brad, Quentin Miller is a professional bowler by trade. That would be like going for a 300 game, and on that final 12th shot, that ringing 10 pin standing there, not wanting to go down. This is going to be a great day of racing, and I'm looking forward to it.
That's a terrific analogy there with the that ringing 10 pin hanging there. But, you know, throughout this season, we have both gotten to know that Fast Eddie Canfouche pretty well. He's a gamer in more ways than one, and no pun intended. I'm not sure I expect to see him sit back and take those third place finishes. I expect to see him drive this thing the way he always has, pedal to the metal and going for the lead.
Well, there's no doubt he's in the driver's position, so to say, for this points race going into this final one. His father was fast on the water. He knew nothing but go forward to win. And I believe his virtual owners, Sharon and Kelly Stockland out in the Pacific Northwest, I'm sure they spoke to their virtual driver and go out and do it. Just be aggressive.
Go out and be aggressive. So our qualifying has taken place, and I believe we've got that up on the screen now. Jeff, again, extremely tightly bunched. Look at those speeds. Everybody north of 160 miles an hour. In fact, everybody north of $162. Oh, they got one there. Looks like we have 160, but boy, we talk about how competitive the racing has been all year, and it has been. Again, qualifying shows the same story.
Brad Bowen has a knack of qualifying super fast in that virtual turbinator. You see on the screen on top at 163.267 miles per hour. Kelsey Best right there as well. And Brad, this game is hard, created by Scott Przybylski, our game creator. Yours truly here tried a few laps before today's action in the virtual G&Ds that'll be driven today by Travis Johnson. When you're 56 years of age and still use a flip phone, e-racing on the water, it's just not for me. This is tough.
Well, I can tell you I'm a little bit older, but I have graduated from the flip phone, and I tried it one time, and let's just say it didn't end well, and somebody walked up and handed me a microphone and said, "This is what we want you to do here." So either way, this has been a lot of fun. We're not done yet. We've got a full afternoon here of racing. It is the Home Street Bank San Diego Bayfair Championship, and as we were just discussing, the National High Points Championship is on the line as well. Our H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series would like to take this opportunity to thank some of our sponsors, beginning first with Staples. Staples, your one-stop shop for all your home office needs, with locations throughout the state, but 3 prominent ones in Spokane, Washington, Moses Lake, Washington, and Central Washington, and on the west side in Linwood. Would also like to thank the Angels Foster Care Community, with locations in Spokane, Seattle, and on the Olympic Peninsula. Angels Foster Care, where they wrap community around children and families. Also like to thank Jesse's Stitches and Woodshed Embroidery. There's 2 organizations that have been with us since the start this season, back in May when we were down in Guntersville. They've been with us all year, and we thank them for their participation. Jesse's Stitches and Woodshed Embroidery. Also like to thank the folks at Atomic Screen Printing from the Tri-Cities, Kennewick to be specific. Atomic Screen Printing for all of your embroidery and even artistic needs. Need a logo? Don't have the artwork done? They can do it for you. Atomic Screen Printing. Thanks to all of our sponsors. They make it possible for us to go racing. And I think that's about what we're ready to do here, Jeff Ayler. But first, we've got to take those 12 fast qualifiers you've got, and we got to have a heat draw for our Heat 1A and 1B. It's a full field. It's 12 boats. We'll go 6 in each heat. Doing the honors for us here for our first heats of racing, let's turn it over to Patrick Howarth, the driver of the U10 H1 Unlimited. Patrick, take it away with the heat draws for Heat 1.
Hi, my name is Patrick Howarth from Valleyfield, Quebec, Canada. I'm the driver of the Spirit of Detroit 2 U10 Unlimited hydroplane owned by Dave Bardish. I'm here to present today the San Diego Bayfair presented by Home Street Bank H1 Unlimited E-Series heat draws for 1A and 1B. So without further ado, let's go for it. So for 1A, we have chosen 98. So 1A, 98. 1B, we have chosen 10. 1B, 10. Back to 1A, we have chosen 91. 91. We go back to 1B. We have chosen 99.9 for 1B. Back to 1A. $21 for 1A. One B. 9. 1B. 9. Back to 1A. 6. Back to 1B. We have chosen 11. 11. Back to 1A. 440. 1B. 3. And last but not least, the two last numbers, 7 for 1A. And 12 for 1B. So he's 1A, we have 98, 91, 440, 21, 6, and 7. And for 1B, we have 10, 99.9, 3, 9, 11, and 12. And I invite you to all watch the H1 Unlimited East League for the Home Street San Diego Bayfair race today. Good luck.
Well, our thanks to Patrick Haworth for doing the honors there. Good to see Patrick on the screen there doing the draws for our heats 1A and 1B of our event here this afternoon. We are pretty much ready to go racing at this point. Jeff Ayler, are you ready to roll?
Brad, I'm ready. Crank 'em up.
Let's do it. Let's get this party started here. So we'll listen for the officials here, and we'll get the countdown. They say we are inside 10 seconds to the start of Heat 1A. We are 3 seconds, 2, 1, mark. 5 minutes to the start of our Heat 1A. It is the Home Street Bank San Diego Bayfair. Jeff Ayler, what a great sight. You've been down in San Diego many times, as have I. It's always a beautiful sight when you kind of turn your head back off the pit tower and look down toward the bridge and see 6 H1 Unlimiteds coming out on the water. Our fans will notice the boats are all adorned with these saltwater air scoops today because we're running on brackish water on San Diego's Mission Bay. Jeff Ayler, run down the boats in our Heat 1A.
Thank you, Brad Luce. All 6 participants leaving the dock. The Home Street Blue and White were on board with Kelsey Best out of Mesa, Arizona. Kelsey, 33 years of age, and the U6 Miss Home Street checked in today at 162.779 miles per hour. That was 6th quick. On top of the wing with the 440, that is Bo Rarig out of Monroe, Washington, 27 years of age. In the Tennessee Orange Bucket List Racing, Bo qualified earlier today, 162.257 miles per hour. The red, white, and blue, the 98, Matt Johnson in the seat, 29 years of age out of Renton, Washington. It's the Graham Trucking American Dream. Qualified 3rd quick, 162.952 miles per hour. 4th entrant in Unlimited 1A, the number 7. It is driven by DJ Miller out of Mercer Island, Washington, age 22. This is our winner last out at the virtual Seattle race on Lake Washington. DJ qualified earlier today, 162.450 miles per hour. On board with Mickey Washburn, 41 years of age, out of Pasco, Washington, driving the virtual U21. Daryl Strong presents Payne West Insurance. Mickey checked in at 162.776. Final entrant, the black and gold, the number 91, Goodman Real Estate, 23-year-old Tim Johnson chauffeurs out of Richland, Washington. Goodman Real Estate, Tim Johnson checked in fifth quick at 162.782 miles per hour. Brad Luce were 2 minutes and 20 seconds away. The preliminary heats are 3 times around. The winner-take-all final later today is a 5-lapper. It is the park and start format. The parking is beginning.
The parking has started, that is for sure, as you look at Kelsey Best just past the entrance buoy to the corner there in the blue and white Miss Home Street, and then he's got the 91 of Tim Johnson just outside his window. Mickey Washburn comes up to say, hello, I am here too. So you got 3 of them parked right there. When you went down the boats that are running in our Heat 1A, Jeff Ayler, I couldn't help but notice you've got the 91 with Tim Johnson and his brother, Matt Johnson, behind the wheel of the 98. So the 2 brothers are going to square off here in our Heat 1A, and I know that makes for a couple of nervous parents down in Renton, Washington. Want to give a shout-out to Dan and Patty Johnson, the parents, and look at the bumper boats that's going on down there. Kelsey Best decided, I want out of here, and banged his way through. Dan and Patty, enjoy this. Looks like it's going to get wild on the water.
Coming up on the 1 minute period, we see the Boitano Homes on the sponsors of the number 7 here in San Diego. We're coming up on 1 minute. One is early. They will elect to cut through. That is cool. And we're at the 1 minute. Kelsey Best was over the 1 minute pin, but he did cut through the infield. Brad will check with the officials. There is Kelsey, and he can make that up and rejoin the fleet on the outside as they come up into the SeaWorld turn number 2. You see DJ Miller right there in lane number 1 right now. Matt Johnson in 2, and Brad, it's tight, and now Tim Johnson's got to bear out and go to lane 4.
Yeah, Tim was coming up right there on brother Matt, and it looked like he was going to try and squeeze into lane number 3, but he ran out of real estate, no pun intended, in that Goodman real estate, and he had to swing it to the outside. Watch for Kelsey Best to come up behind everybody. We're 15 seconds until the start. There's Kelsey. He's going to be on the outside, maybe with a lot of boat speed, Jeff. Bring him to the line.
A beautiful alignment. The virtual Mission Bay Racecourse. Home Street Bank Bayfair. There is the gun. We're racing. Everyone appears to be behind the line. We're racing. Beautiful start for all 6 as they fly into turn number 1. Everyone pretty much even. We go to the inside. DJ Miller, our Seattle winner, is there in front. In the Boitano Homes, Matt Johnson in second, working that huge turn number 1. They come off the turn. Brad, it's Miller in front, and Johnson chasing in second.
Yeah, it's a good run up the backstretch. You mentioned DJ Miller getting down to that lower corner first. He did indeed, and he was in lane number 1. But, man, he was really flying the boat for a moment. I thought DJ might blow it over, but he was able to settle the boat back down. Now he's got about a 2, maybe 3 boat length lead on Matt Johnson, but there's still boats within striking distance. This is going to be a good one. Keep an eye on DJ trying to back up that win in Seattle with another one here on Mission Bay.
We'll come down to complete lap number 1. DJ Miller in front. Boitano Homes make it a 7 boat length advantage over Matt Johnson in second. Graham Trucking American Dream as they work into turn number 1, the first of 3 times around. We go on board with second place, Matt Johnson. You see the rooster tail of DJ Miller in front of him, chasing him on his outside wake in second. Miller in front. Johnson in third. Brad, we're halfway through it. Johnson's got some work to do in the red, white, and blue to move up to the front.
Yeah, and I'm not sure he's going to give it an all-out effort here. As we say so many times, boat racing, Jeff Ayler, and you know this as well as anyone, you can't win this race in the first heat of the day, but you can certainly lose it by not scoring any points. He's going to stay right in DJ Miller's right side rear view mirrors. Let him know he is right there should he make a mistake. But right now it is all DJ Miller. Give him a white flag, Jeff.
Boy, Bold Rarick back in 5th, hit a roller and lost control, regained it, and is now settled back in the final position. White flag displayed, 2 complete, 1 to go. DJ Miller now comfortably in front, making a rooster tail over Matt Johnson in second and Graham Trucking American Dream. We go above in turn number 1 here at the virtual Mission Bay Racecourse. Big sweeping turns, long shoots. Miller looks good in lane number 1. Brad, half a lap to go. Can the red hang on?
I think he's going to be able to hang on as long as he can keep the boat on the water. As you said on the front straightaway, it's a full rooster tail now. A full rooster tail lead that DJ Miller enjoys over Matt Johnson. I think Matt will just look behind him, make sure he realizes nobody's sneaking up on him. 300 points would be a good start for the 98, but even a better start for boat number 7, DJ Miller. He's off the corner, Jeff. Bring him down for our winner of Heat 1A.
Your Seattle winner 2 weekends ago. Off to a good start here at the Home Street Bank Bayfair. Here's your winner of Unlimited 1A, DJ Miller and Boitano Homes. Second place to Matt Johnson, Graham Trucking, American Dream, picks up 300 points. Mickey Washburn in the third position, and Daryl Strong presents Payne West Insurance, 225 points. Tim Johnson gets fourth in 91. Goodman Real Estate, 169 points. In the fifth position was Bo Rarig in the Bucket List Racing with 127. And Kelsey Best will get that final spot. And the regatta sponsor, Home Street Bank. And Brad, we saw Kelsey prior to the start. He was off on his timing marks. We saw him get out of that four-boat shuffle in the park before the start. And that 1 minute, Dan, he got there too early. He made it up going to the infield, but on this big track, lane number 6 is not where you want to be.
Now that's going to be a tough road to hoe if you're going to try and run down these guys that far outside. You mentioned it's a big track, it's a fast track, and I think Kelsey knew it as soon as everybody did. Once he had the error at the 1 minute buoy, he knew he was going to have a tough Heat 1A. But if you're going to have problems, have them at the beginning of the day, not in the final heat. We'll look for Kelsey, our 2020 H1 Unlimited E-League Gold Cup champion. Second race of the year, it was Kelsey Best, and that was in Madison, Indiana on the smaller course. Got a big one here where you can really stretch your legs. Tell you what, Jeff Ayler, DJ Miller backed up that win in Seattle with a mighty strong showing here in Heat 1A. We may have to deal with him the rest of the day. I think he's ready.
For that Seattle final, he had lane number 1 and also 2 here in 1A. We saw it, and that's going to be critical here today. Lane 1, good start, shortest way around. If you're lane 2, you need to be on a boat speed. Hope things go your way when you get down into turn number 1 going to racing.
Yeah, and I think we've got DJ Miller with us. DJ, can you hear me? Brad Luce here.
Yeah, I got you.
Nick, nice run there in Heat 1A. I just made the comment to Jeff Ayler that if anybody thought that Seattle race victory was a fluke, which it was not, you just backed it up with a very strong win here in our Heat 1A. That's a good way to start the weekend.
Well, yeah, it certainly is. I got to get back-to-back Heat wins. It just picked up right where I left off. It went very smooth. I had Scott as my spotter and just kind of saw the boats up front were bunched up, and I figured I can jump these guys, and that's what I did. Got lane 1, hit a good start, and was first to the turn, which is about as smooth as it gets in boat racing.
Were you a little concerned just before the 1 minute mark when you saw Kelsey Best in the missed home street blow by you on the outside? Were you worried about that, or did you think, no, he's got to be early?
He looked really early to me. Kelsey got put in a good spot there when I jumped into lane 1, and he got boxed out, which I think completely threw him off. So I guess I ended up putting him in a bad spot, but that just happens. Only one person can get lane 1.
That's exactly right. You got 6 guys out there, and they all have the same idea. Gee, I'd like to get in lane 1, but there's only one boat that fits in there. It's a good start to the racing day, Mr. Miller. Thank you for a good show. We'll look for you in the second set of heats. Keep it going.
Yep, and I'd like to thank Dave Bartish and the Spirit of Detroit team and our sponsors like Staples and Jesse Stitches and Atomic Screen Printing and Home Street Bank for the Home Street Bank Bayfair.
We echo those same sentiments. Thank you very much. We'll look for you later on down the road, Jeff Ayler. Our competition is underway here at the Home Street Bank San Diego Bayfair Championship, and it looks like it's going to be a good day of racing. I am really anxious to see our Heat 1B here because we talked at the onset today about the National High Points race featuring Quentin Miller and Eddie Canfouche and the difference between them and what needs to happen for Eddie to claim the national championship on total points. But I like, and you know I do because I've been talking about him all season long, boat number 3, Cy Bowen in that Go 3 Racing presents Griggs Ace Hardware. Watch out for Cy Bowen. That boat is fast.
He has a knack of qualifying so fast. By memory, I know at least 3 of these races, Brad, that you and I have done this year. I've helped you with the final 4. You were on all 5 of them with the E-League. Cy does a great job qualifying. He needs to learn. It seems like his little bit of a blemish is getting down on the inside lanes when it comes to racing. Once he overcomes that virtual turbinator can be hard to touch. It'll be today where he gains superiority in 1 and 2 and can take that virtual turbinator to the front and say, see you later.
And he might just be able to do that. He to your point, he got pushed out to lane 4 in his first heat in the Seattle race a couple of weeks ago. Then he got it to the inside lane, and I thought we were going to see it. But then he was late to the start-finish line. You're exactly right. Once he figures it out, it's going to be Katie bar the door. Maybe it will be now. We're being told that we're inside 10 seconds to the start of our Heat 1B. It's the Home Street Bank San Diego Bayfair Championship. Inside 5 seconds, we are 2 seconds, 1 mark. 5 minutes to the start of our Heat 1B. This should be a bit of a showdown here between Quentin Miller driving the 12, the Graham Trucking, and Fast Eddie Canfouche in the Bucket List Racing KISW presents Miss Rock. But there's some other fast boats here. We mentioned Cy Bowen. Watch out for the game creator, Scott Przybylski. Jeff Ayler, run them down. Who's in our Heat 1B?
All 6 boats leaving the dock. We go on board. There's our top qualifier, 18 years of age, out of Plymouth, Indiana. Cy Bowen, and the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. The virtual turbinator cooked the top qualifying speed at 163.267 miles per hour. On board with Jeff DeWalt, 51 years of age, out of Warren, Michigan. In the virtual second entry for Dave Bardish out of Detroit, it's the U10 Spirit of Detroit 2. Jeff DeWalt qualified at 160.472 miles per hour. Entrant in 1B, our game creator, he's on home waters. It's Scott Przybylski right there in San Diego, 34 years of age. In the Delta Real Track, Scott 4th quick on the qualifying ladder, 162.842 miles per hour. Board with Quentin Miller in the Graham Trucking, the U12. Quentin out of Mercer Island, Washington, 25 years of age. Quentin qualified at 162.739 miles per hour. Currently second in points, battling with Eddie Canfouche. Expect to see next on the screen in the 99.9 Bucket List KISW Miss Rock. But no, we go on board the Chartreuse and Carnival Orange. Travis Johnson drives out of Madison, Indiana. In the U11 J&Ds, Travis, 36 years of age, checked in today at 162.075 miles per hour. And there's Fast Eddie Canfouche in the Tennessee Orange and Black. Bucket List KISW Miss Rock. He's your point leader going in today, looking for the title after today's action. Brad, Fast Eddie was fast in qualifying. Second quick at 163.002 miles per hour. We're 220 away from the start, Brad. 3-lap heat. Fast Eddie in the driver's seat with the points race. We mentioned before the day, I don't think he'll be conservative. I expect him to be aggressive.
I do too. I just don't think it's in his nature to be conservative. He probably can't say the word, but we will keep an eye on him. He is our points leader. He could sit back and take it a little easy this time, but I don't expect him to do so. There is the park and start. Watch the boat on the left there plowing the water. That is Cy Bowen. He is in an outside lane right now. Let's see if he doesn't make a move to get a little bit further inside. And in fact, it looks like Cy and Eddie Canfouche are going to go around again, because there they go past the 1 minute buoy, and there's still 30 seconds until 1 minute. So keep an eye on those two boats, Jeff. They have cut the course. That is Eddie Canfouche and Cy Bowen. We'll see where they come up as they get behind these other boats down at the lower end. Right now, Scott Przybylski appears to be in lane 1. Bring him to the note.
To have your boat behind that exit pin at turn number 1 at the 1 minute mark to be legal at the 1 minute period. For approaching that, Przybylski seems to be in prime position, but Fast Eddie coming up quickly. There's the one guy. Clean score up. Przybylski not on the throttle, Brad, but Fast Eddie does not have the boom. We got one going over. It's Travis Johnson.
Travis Johnson has gone over, going up the backstretch. I believe he went all the way over from my vantage point. That will be a disqualification. He cannot come back. Also, it does appear Scott Przybylski was able to defend that inside lane. Nobody was able to move over on him, so we're down to a 5-boat field here in our Heat 1B. There is Cy Bowen. He trails the field at the top end of the race course. We will watch him come down to the start-finish line. We're inside 20 seconds, coming up on 15. Jeff Ayler, let's go racing in Heat 1B.
10 seconds away in the E-League Series. There is no reset, so we're down to 5 for 1B. We're 4 seconds away. 5 a length to the call. There is zero. There is the start. Everyone appears to be clean. And Fast Eddie, clean start by our officials. Fast Eddie Canfouche out in lane number 3. Leads the pack down into turn number 1, but our game creator out of San Diego, Scott Przybylski. And Jeff DeWalt has gone over in the Spirit of Detroit, too. We come off turn number 1, and now Brad Przybylski in front, but Fast Eddie chasing in second. They're side by side.
Yeah, you got 3 boats really close together going down the backstretch here. Now, Fast Eddie running hard like we expected he would do. He's got to sit out there in lane 3, and he's got to leave room for Quentin Miller in lane 2, and Miller's got to hold it, and he didn't. You see, he got caught in the wash of Fast Eddie at the top end of the race course there, and he dropped back 5 or 6 boat lengths. Watch him come down now to put 1 in the book, and it is Scott Przybylski, the game's creator. You mentioned he's on home waters. He likes it here, Jeff.
Boy, Przybylski looking sharp on the virtual Mission Bay track. Leads it in the Delta Real track. Fast Eddie Canfouche not giving up in second in the bucket list. KISW Mist Rock. We got a battle for first. We got a battle for third. Miller to the inside. Bowen to the outside. The top 4 coming off turn number 1. Brad loose. We're halfway through it. Przybylski's in front. Fast Eddie running out of time.
Yeah, he's running out of time, and he's also given ground. Przybylski on the inside, driving at 9, a Delta Real track, and he's driving it mighty well up the backstretch with a lot of air underneath that race boat. Hangs it on the hook at the SeaWorld corner, and he will turn it down left, come down to the start-finish line, and look to the right, hoping to see a white flag, which he'll get. But staying in his right side mirror, Ed Canfouche is not going away, Jeff.
White flag displayed, 2 complete, 1 more to go here in 1B at the Home Street Bank Bayfair, the virtual Mission Bay race course. We go above. You see the advantage. Przybylski's lead dwindling some, but time running out. Working the final lap. Into turn number 1. Przybylski in front, and Canfouche continuing to eat into that lead. Brad, this one might not be over. They exit the turn, and now Przybylski hits that throttle, extends it back out by 8 boat lengths, half a lap to go in 1B.
Yeah, this is where if Eddie was going to get a little bit conservative, I thought that might have been where it was, but he came off that lower corner like he was shot out of a cannon, and he was ready to try and run down Scott Przybylski, but I don't think he's going to get him, Jeff. Bring him down and complete our Heat 1B.
Przybylski off the turn. You saw where we're on board with Fast Eddie Canfouche. Przybylski sees the checkered flag. He will accept it, winning 1B here in San Diego on the Delta Real track. Eddie Canfu second. In the bucket list KISW Miss Rock, Quentin Miller will come across in the third position in the Graham Trucking, and Cy Bowen will cross in fourth, Brad, in the Griggs Presents Miss Ace Hardware. And unfortunate did not start will go to Travis Johnson and J&D's and Jeff DeWalt in the Spirit of Detroit 2. The game creator, Brad Luce. Guys, I'm tired of seeing you win. I want to win at home. He's off to a good start.
He's off to a really good start, and we see just how important it is. We talk about it every week. We talk about it every day. How important it is to be on that inside lane, and I believe I'm getting word right now that is this official and this is done. He's got it. I am being told that as a result of the finish order in that heat, Jeff Ayler, Fast Eddie Canfouche is our 2020 H1 Unlimited E-League National High Points Champion.
Well, congratulations to Fast Eddie. Sure, we'll have a word with him. And I know Dad Dan Canfouche there watching today in New York State along with Mom Lynn. And be a party there tonight, Brad. He's under 3 times 7, so it has to be something that he enjoy.
Yeah, I'm sure he will enjoy it. And now he can just sit back the rest of the day and just put his foot down as far as it will go and see what kind of fun he can have here. He did so, however, in our Heat 1B, but was unable to catch our games creator, Scott Przybylski. And I think we got Scott here in the announcer's booth with us. Scott, Jeff Ayler made the comment a couple of times during that heat that you must like being on home waters there in San Diego. Boat ran really well. You claimed lane 1, but you had a lot of that Tennessee orange in that right side rearview mirror.
Yeah, he was right behind me the whole time. But yeah, it's great being on home water. I'm definitely used to driving on this course a lot more than any of the other ones.
Well, and you got to sleep in your own bed last night, right? You're not on the road.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. And I want to go back to Eddie Canfouche. When you jumped in here, we were just tabulating the numbers. He has just been crowned the National High Points Champion. And we had talked about maybe he would run conservative in these first couple of heats. I got a hunch you thought otherwise. That guy's going to just keep charging all the way.
Yeah. So I hit the score up with some speed, but I didn't get clear of anybody. And then I looked back and saw the 11 going over behind me. And that might have been the best thing to happen to me in that heat, because from there it was just I hit my start, I ran clean but hard, got a second there, and we're here now.
Yeah, I didn't realize you had jumped in here on the. Congratulations, young man. We talk about you being Fast Eddie all the time. I was thinking this morning, once you pull this thing off, we might have to call you Consistent Eddie too, because you've been strong all year long. You've been on the podium, I think, 3 times. You've won once before. But this has been a lot of fun. And you know what? The first time we had an H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series, you're crowned the National High Points Champion. Nobody can ever take that away from you.
Hopefully not. No, this has been super cool. And I want to thank everyone involved for putting this on. Got to thank Staples, Atomic Screen Printing, Woodshed Embroidery, Jesse Stitches, Angels Foster Care. We got to thank all the boat sponsors, KISW, CarStar, the Stockland family for drafting me to drive their boat in the game and being super supportive throughout the whole thing. Got to thank my parents for the same thing. I learned a lot from my dad on how to drive boats and how to hit starts and things like that, which I've been able to use here. I don't really know how to put this into words.
Well, talk to me a little bit about Kelly and Sharon Stockland. How often do you talk to them, and how involved are they with your racing on this E-League?
To be completely honest, I haven't really talked to them at all. I talked to Kelly shortly when my teammate Bo went over to the shop one day, and we were talking there. But it's mostly been Taylor Evans, the crew chief. He's been on a lot, and he's kind of relayed some messages and stuff like that. But it's been super cool. The team's been awesome. They've been super welcoming, made us feel like we're actually part of the teams. And it's never something I ever thought would be something so constant in my life.
Well, you may not have been speaking with him on a regular basis. However, I just saw a note come through from the team Snapchat from Kelly Stockland. It says, Eddie K, good job, mister, with a bunch of exclamation points. So I think they're pretty happy for you. Congratulations, my friend. You drove hard. We figured you would. Always putting the foot down as far as it'll go. Jeff Ayler, he's on the phone here too. You want to say something to Eddie here?
Thank you, Brad. I sure do. Eddie, congratulations. In the early 2000s, when I was blessed to start doing a lot of numerous inboard races, I said the last name Canfoosh many times. The national championships, Ohio Governor's Cup trophies, and now I'm old enough to see you drive in the E-League. My question to you is, when do you get with Jim Sackler to get in an actual 1-liter? That's what I want to see.
That's up to Jim Sackler. I need to talk to him about that. I'd like to get in the real boat soon. That'd be fun.
I understand there's some qualifications, though, you have to go through first to do that, like going to college and then maybe getting your P's and Q's together before you get in a 1-liter.
Well, that's what my dad says, but he doesn't own the boat.
Oh, gosh. Eddie, thank you very much. Congratulations. We'll look for you later on in the day. I think we've still got Scott here in the booth with Scott. Thank you for a great show, not only in our Heat 1B, but also for this game and this series, because this series doesn't happen without you. I mentioned at the onset of the show here that the platform was highly developed when we started the racing this year, and you've only done more to it as we've gone along, and it's terrific. I think everybody's had a lot of fun with it. Thank you, Scott, very, very much for all you've done.
Well, you're welcome, and thanks for letting me be a part of this. It's been pretty awesome. But yeah, spent a bit of time this week trying to get this course ready to look nice for the live stream today.
Well, it looks terrific. You drove a great heat. We'll look for you later on the day. Go grab a cold drink, and we'll see you down the road here today.
All right, thank you.
Scott Przybylski, the game's creator, driving the 9, the Delta Real Track, and he got 400 points in that Heat 1B. H1 Unlimited is a proud club of the American Powerboat Association, the national authority for boat racing in the United States. The APBA is a member-driven organization established in 1903 and headquartered in East Point, Michigan. For more information on the American Powerboat Association, head over to www.apba.org. That's apba.org. And you too can become a member, and they would love to have you on board. H1 Unlimited, the E-Series Racing League, would also like to thank Staples, your one-stop shop for all your home office needs. With so many of us working from home these days, you don't have access to the supply shed down at work. You go down and look in your own drawer and you find you're short something you need for your office. Go to Staples. They can take care of you with whatever you might need, with locations in Moses Lake, Linwood, and Spokane. Also like to thank the Angels Foster Care Community, located on the Olympic Peninsula here in Western Washington, Spokane on the east side, and also in Seattle. That's Angels Foster Care, where they wrap community around children and families. Atomic Screen Printing from the Tri-Cities, specifically Kennewick, Washington. Atomic Screen Printing's been on board here since the beginning, along with Jesse's Stitches and Woodshed Embroidery. We do not go racing without our sponsors. We thank them for their participation this year and making this possible. You hear our drivers talk about it because they love to race. And Jeff Ayler, we don't race without the sponsors. So these gamers, they know to always say something about the sponsor.
Well, Brad, the sponsors have been fabulous here. Thank you to all of them. And I tell you, these gamers are amazing at this game. It is hard. Brad, these are the guys, when we used to go to the arcade years ago with our 4 quarters, we could never get in line because they would always ace Frogger and Pac-Man. We'd have to leave disappointed, not even to get to play.
There's a lot of people out there that don't have a clue what you were just talking about, but I do, Jeff. That was good. Thank you very much. So it's time now we start moving on to our second set of heats here today for our Heat 2A and Heat 2B heat draws. Let's welcome U11 crew members, Haley and Ben Dowell. And as you watch this particular sequence, I will only add that the cat's name is Uno. Let's turn it over to Haley and Ben Dowell.
How's everybody doing?
For the draw for Heat 2A.
My name is
and
Ben.
2B.
My wife's name is Haley. She's supposed to be around here somewhere. Not sure where she is. We're crew members for the U11 J&D's team. And we're going to be doing the heat draw for Heat 1A and 1B for San Diego Bayfair, presented by Home Street Bank. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find all my boats over here to my left. Get them all scooped up. I'm going to grab my handy dandy J&D's hat here. Oh, yep, there it is. I'm going to stick them in there, mix them up real good, and we'll pull out a boat for Heat 1A. I got to move my thumb so I can read it, and it's the U7. Heat 1B, the U12. Heat 1A. I got to unfold it a little bit, move my thumb. U3. Heat 1B, the 440. Heat 1A. Gotta flip it over, flip it around. 21. Heat 1B. The U11, go J&Ds. Woo! Heat 1A. U6. Heat 1B. The U9. Heat 1A. The U, gotta flip it back over, turn it around. U98, Heat 1B, the U91, Heat 1A, the U10, Heat 1B, gotta flip it over, the U99.9. Thanks for letting us do a heat draw, and we're excited to watch racing today. Have a good weekend.
Well, our thanks to Haley and Ben Dowell, and also the Cat Uno for the draw there. I believe they said they were drawing for Heats 1. That was the draw for Heat 2A and 2B. I mentioned before we went to the draw there, Jeff Ayler, that these were U11 crew members, and Haley, who was part of that process right there, is a cousin of one of the U11 owners. That would be Shannon Rainey. It's Shannon's cousin is Haley, and Ben is in the United States Army and is currently stationed at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. I'd like to give a shout out not only to Ben and thank him for his service to our country, but also thank all the members of our military, not only here in the States, but around the world. Thank you for all you do. We've got a draw for Heat. Go ahead, Jeff.
I'm sorry, Brad. And Ben is also the spotter for Travis Johnson in today's game here with the J&Ds. And Ben, thank you for your service to the country.
Absolutely. So with that, we've got a draw for Heat 2A and 2B. I think we're ready to go. We will listen for the countdown in our ear from our... We are inside 10 seconds to the start of our countdown. It's the Home Street Bank San Diego Bayfair Championship. We are 3 seconds, 2, 1, mark. 5 minutes to the start of Heat 2A and Heat 2B. There's that beautiful sight right in front of the bridge there as the boats come away from the dock here on San Diego's Mission Bay. I see 5 of the 6 boats up and running, and now our final boat at the dock is up and away. Jeff Ayler, 4 minutes and 35 seconds to the start of 2A. Who's going to be running in our third heat of racing today?
On board, our top qualifier finished 4th in 1B. It's Cy Bowen, and Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. Cy currently with 269 points in the 5th slot. Red, white, and blue, Matt Johnson and the Graham Trucking American Dream, the U98. Matt was 2nd back in Unlimited 1A. Comes in here fourth in points right now, 370. Third entrant for 2A, and he's on a roll. It's DJ Miller in the Botano Homes. Our Seattle winner was a winner back in 1A. Currently second in race points right now with 430. Entrant in 2A, the regatta sponsor, Home Street Blue and White. Just Home Street, Kelsey Best in the seat. Kelsey right now with only 40 points and had an unfortunate, did not finish back in 1A. Mickey Washburn, U21, Daryl Strom presents Payne West Insurance. Mickey was third back in Unlimited 1A, comes in here with 255 points for today's race tally. And our sixth boat, we go on board with
Jeff DeWalt.
Thank you, guys. The U10 Spirit of Detroit number 2. Jeff DeWalt in the seat had an unfortunate, did not start back in 1B, has 30 points for today's race total. Brad, we're 2 minutes and 35 seconds away from the start. We had to go to the wing camera today because the turbine boats are wearing the salt scoop. Gives a little bit better look during the introductions, because if we went with the salt scoop, all we would have seen pretty much water.
Yep, so we had to change that camera angle just a little bit. Now there's our park and start going on down there. Kelsey Best, as you mentioned, he didn't score any points in our Heat 1A. He'd like to have a good showing here. Also would Cy Bowen. He got a 4th place finish in Heat 1B. We talked about him. He's our top qualifier, but he's had a tough time getting the 3, the Turbinator, on an inside lane. He's now trailing the field as they go to that lower corner, as Matt Johnson in the 98 goes around everybody. Still got time to kill here, Jeff Ayler, coming up on 40 seconds to the 1 minute mark. 40 seconds.
Kelsey Best, we saw him up in the park and start sequence. Brad, no doubt must-win situation, comes in here with only 40 points. DJ Miller, our winner in 1A, he's in the mix here as well. I know he'd like to score well, but you don't want to be too cute. You don't want to make a mistake here. If you had a good finish back in the first section, you'd like to get first, second, third, take those points on to 3A. And, whoa, we got one coming way out here.
It's Kelsey Best.
What's that move, Brad?
Yeah, it's Kelsey Best. He's definitely killing time. Coming up on 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Mark Kelsey was way wide down there in that lower corner, and I thought maybe he was going to give it a lot of speed and come around everybody, but he did not. So now Kelsey is trailing the field up the backstretch. And see if we have a move here to the inside. Is Matt going to get enough of an overlap? It does not look like it. No, sir. DJ Miller says, no, thank you very much. I got lane 1. I'm going to defend it. And he did all the way up the backstretch. So is DJ Miller going to be in lane number 1, driving the 7, the Boitano Home. Second lane will go to Matt Johnson in the 98. Appears Cy Bowen in the Turbinator is going to be in lane number 3. Is that Kelsey Best? I think it is. He's out there in lane number 4. Inside 20 seconds, coming up on 15. Jeff, bring him down to the start-finish line.
6 boats set to answer the call here in Unlimited 2A. They start to power up that virtual Turbinator in lane 3. We're 3, 2, 1. Mark, we're racing. It appears to be clean here in Unlimited 2A. 2A, excuse me, the Home Street Bank Bayfair was a clean start. We blister into turn number 1 on the inside. That is Matt Johnson in the red, white, and blue Graham Trucking American Dream. DJ Miller got caught in there. We come off the turn. Brad, it's Matt Johnson and Cy Bowen in second. I thought we had one go over. We didn't. We're half a lap in. It's a battle up in the front.
We understand from the officials there is a call under review right now. We're not sure exactly where that occurred, but we're going to think down in the lower corner on lap number 1. But Cy Bowen, he had him. He was making a move. I thought maybe he was going to come up and challenged Matt Johnson, and the front got up on the air on him. He was really flying the boat up the backstretch, and over he went. So right now, Matt Johnson, bring him down. He'll put one in the book. He's way out in front right now, Jeff.
One complete, 2 to go. Matt Johnson, as Brad mentioned, comfortably in front. We'll see if we can go back to our second, third, fourth place boats with Johnson in that comfortable lead. We do have a call under review here in Unlimited 2A. So Matt Johnson in front. That is DJ Miller in the second position in Boitano Homes. Brad, we're halfway through it. Red, white, and blue in front, but we got a battle for second between Miller, and that's Mickey Washburn in third in the 21.
Yeah, that white boat, the second boat you see there on the screen going up the backstretch, that's Mickey Washburn in the 21. Darrell Strong presents Payne West Insurance. But DJ Miller, he mentioned in the interview after his first heat that he had won 2 heats in a row. That included the final in Seattle a couple of weeks ago. Right now, he's running a very solid second place. Matt Johnson is your leader. There are no calls. It's clean, Jeff. Give him a white flag.
White flag displayed, so Johnson comfortably in front, looking for 400 big points here in the Graham Trucking American Dream. He goes into turn number 1, puts it on the hook. DJ Miller in the second position. In Boitano Homes, Mickey Washburn in third. Kelsey Best in the fourth slot. Brad, half a lap to go. These are a big 400 for Matt Johnson.
They would be a very big 400. He's way out in front. He's just got to maneuver his way and manage his way through the SeaWorld turn and bring it down toward you, Jeff Ayler. Dan and Patty Johnson down in Renton, Washington. They're standing, they're smiling, they're clapping. Their son is about 2 buoys away from 400 points here in our Heat 2A. Bring him home, Jeff.
Checkered flag waving. He sees it. Here's your winner of Unlimited 2A at the Home Street Bank Bayfair, Matt Johnson, Graham Trucking American Dream. Second place to DJ Miller in the Boitano Homes 300 points. Third place will go to Mickey Washburn in the Darrell Strong presents Payne West Insurance. Kelsey Beth, who went off course prior to the 1 minute period, will come across in the fourth position in Miss Home Street, 169 points. Jeff DeWalt will cross in fifth in the U10 Spirit of Detroit 2. And you saw working up in turn number 2 on the first lap, Cy Bowen in the Virtual Turbinator had an accident, and Brad will get a did not finish. So our top qualifier going into the third heat will need to score well, maybe hope to have some luck to crack the 6-boat front row final.
Well, and we talk about it all the time, but it bears reiterating here again. These preliminary heats are all about gathering points, because after everybody has run 3 times, we'll go through heats 3A and 3B, and after everybody has run 3 times, we'll tally all the points to include those earned during qualifying earlier today, and the 6 boats with the most points will compete in our 5-lap winner-take-all final. It's all about gathering points. But Matt Johnson just picked up 400 big ones, and he had a strong second place finish in our Heat 1A. Matt Johnson, he's looking strong today, Jeff Ayler.
Matt Johnson's game is on. He would like to win this Home Street Bank Bayfair, and Brad, if he would, that would be 5 different winners in this league series this year, but we're along. Matt Johnson is with us. Brad, take it away with our winner.
Well, Matt, we were just talking, Jeff Ayler and I, about the fact you scored a first-place finish here in our Heat 2A. You came off a second-place finish in 1A. You're off to a good start today, my friend.
Yeah, it's looking good so far. A lot better than it was in Seattle, so I'm happy with that.
Well, as we always say, though, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So you got to keep the momentum going. And I know you are aware, young man, that I've been speaking with your folks this past week. I know they're excited. They got to be jumping up and down and smiling.
Oh, I'm sure they're they're having a good time. But I haven't heard my dad yelling in the other room yet. So, but I'm sure they're enjoying it. At least I hope so.
Give it time. Give it
Yeah.
time. All of a sudden, you had some boats that were going to be up there with you, and then all of a sudden they weren't. And so for most of that heat, you had a pretty comfortable lead. When that happens, is it just a matter of keeping the boat under control, making sure nobody's sneaking up on you and finding clean water?
Yep, just giving yourself a little bit extra buffer around those buoys so you don't hit those either. But yeah, just keeping the boat under control and talking to my spotter Quentin for making sure that nobody's coming up on me. So, but yeah, it's nice being out front. You can just kind of put it in cruise control.
Well, it's nice to see the Graham Trucking American Dream, the red, white, and blue out front, following up on a solid second place finish. You are off to a very strong start. Keep it going. We'll look for you in the third set of heats.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. There it is. Matt Johnson driving that 98 Graham Trucking American Dream, that throwback paint scheme to 1998. Good to see the red, white, and blue.
Brad, that's neat. You met the Johnson brothers, Tim and Matt, when they were helping restore the 67 Budweiser at Harm. I believe at the time you said they were 4-5 and 4-3. Now they're 6-5 and 6-3. Big guy.
Yeah, they came up and introduced themselves. I wouldn't have known them from anybody, but yeah, I've met the family, and I haven't met the mother, but I met Dan back during that restoration. Great family, great kids, and great to have them all involved in our E-League Racing Series here, presented by Staples. Time for our Heat 2B, Jeff Ayler. We got 6 more boats still to come. One of them is our newly crowned H1 Unlimited E-League National High Points Champion, fast and consistent, Eddie Canfouche. 10 seconds till the countdown and the start of our Heat 2B. We are 3, 2 seconds, 1 mark. 5 minutes, Jeff Ayler, to the start of our Heat 2B. This day's moving along pretty quickly here. We're already halfway through our preliminary heats. We'll run Heat 2B here, and then we will have a draw, and we will run Heats 3A and 3B. And this is when the points really start getting important because, as we said, it's the top 6 boats with the most points get into the final heat. Then, as we used to say back in the day, Jeff, we throw the points out the window because it's a winner-take-all final. Tell us who's racing here in Heat 2B.
Heat 2B, all 6 boats on the water on board with the number 12. That is the Graham Trucking. Quentin Miller in the seat, our winner to begin the season in Guntersville, Alabama. Quentin was 3rd back in Unlimited 1B here at the virtual San Diego track. On board, Chartreuse and Carnival Orange. Travis Johnson out of Madison, Indiana, driving the number 11 J&D's. Travis had an unfortunate did not start in 1B. He'd love a first or second here to get some points. See how the draw fares in the 3rd section. 3rd entrant here in 2B, Tennessee Orange. Bo Rarick drives the virtual bucket list racing. Bo had a 5th place finish in Unlimited 1A. There's your new national champion in the E-League Series with H1 Unlimited. It's the U99.9, the bucket list KISW Miss Rock. Fast Eddie Canfouche in the seat. Fast Eddie 2nd, back in 1B. On board with Scott Przybylski, the dominant white with the yellow and red trim. It's the number 9 Delta Real Track. Scott Przybylski practices feverishly on this virtual Mission Bay race course, his home track. He won 1B earlier today. Final entrant, the gold and black, the number 91 Goodman Real Estate, Tim Johnson in the seat. The 2nd entry for Miss Madison Incorporated here today virtually. Tim Johnson was 4th back in We're 2 minutes and 25 seconds until the start. Scott Przybylski, he seemed pretty excited with his winning interview back in 1B. He's in 2B. Can he do it twice on his home track?
Well, if he can do it twice, he's going to have to do it the same way he did it in Heat 1B. He's going to have to hold off that hard-charging Eddie Canfouche. But there are other guys out here, Travis Johnson, Quentin Miller, Bo Rarig, a lot of Tennessee orange in this one. And I was thinking, Jeff, as you were calling out the boats that are running here in our Heat 2B, would it only be poetically and just perfectly correct that in our final race of the year on home water, the game's creator could claim the big trophy? But that's going to come later on in the day. Still, 35 seconds until the 1 minute mark. Again, the boats cannot go past the exit buoy of turn number 1 prior to the 1 minute mark. If they do, they have to go back around and rescore up again behind that buoy. And we see the boats now beginning to park down there in the lower corner. We call it the park and start. They'll start moving now. 15 seconds, Jeff, to the 1 minute mark.
We go above turn number 1 to the outside. That is Bo Rarig. It appears in the buck list. And boy, it's tight right up there prior to the 1 minute pin. Everyone behind that 1 minute buoy, Brad, and going up there quickly, that was Quentin Miller. Travis Johnson, you see him back in the J&Ds. Travis will have to go to the 2 or 3 lane. Brad, they're blistering up to 2. Miller appears to be getting in there for lane number 1. Nice job by him.
Yeah, Quentin just flew off that 1 minute buoy down at the lower end of the race course, and he was able to leapfrog across Travis Johnson in the 11 and claim lane number 1. Now we'll see how they score when they get to the entrance pin of the corner up there, but clearly it was Quentin Miller who jumped over to take lane number 1. But now we've still got 19 seconds until the start. The boats are already off the corner. Quentin's up there in lane 1, but he is early, Jeff. 12 seconds until the start.
Quentin Miller early on the start. We'll watch the ones coming up from the outside. There's the game creator poking his nose up there. The race has begun. There is 0. It appears to be a clean start. We're racing in 2B here at the Street Bank. Oh, and Scott Przybylski has jumped the gun in the Delta Reel track. So he is in the 6th position. We go back to the buoy row. So Quentin Miller would be your leader, Brad, in lane number 1. Travis Johnson in 2nd in J&D's. Tim Johnson in 3rd. And the boat black and red in front. Chartreuse and Carnival Orange in 2nd into turn 2.
Yeah, you got gold and black in between them. The boat on the outside there, the white boat in lane number 4, that's Scott Przybylski. He has jumped the gun, and Travis goes over in the 11. So now what looks like a 3-boat race is really a 2-boat race. It's between the boats in lane 1 and lane 2, and it's a dandy as they come off the corner, come down to put one in the books, Jeff. Scott Przybylski appears to be right in the mix, but he's a lap down.
Lap 1 complete. Quentin Miller, your leader in lane number 1 in the Graham Trucking. Tim Johnson in 2nd in the Goodman Real Estate. This one is under review with the incident up in turn number 2 involving Travis Johnson. But it's a Donnybrook right now for real. In the virtual Home Street Bank Bayfair in 2B. And now Quentin Miller extends it out, Brad. But Johnson's still in the tail in 2nd in the Goodman Real Estate.
Yeah, Tim Johnson showing an awful lot of speed there on the outside. We talk about the importance of the inside lane, but you just saw Tim with a lot of speed up the backstretch there. He was able to pull up alongside Quentin Miller, and they are literally dead even at the apex. This is going to be a really good run down to complete lap number 2. I think you're going to see them side by side. We're going to see if Tim Johnson in the Goodman Real Estate in lane 2, if he can show that shoot speed again. He's flying the boat, Jeff.
Boy, these 3 up in the front, 2 legal, 1 night, are hauling the mail. They are working quickly here around the virtual Mission Bay track, and it's a dead even race as they go into turn number 1. Miller to the inside, Tim Johnson to the outside. Miller gains a slight lead, shorter way around, but Johnson has been superior off this corner. Brad, they come off the turn. Miller in front. Here comes Johnson countering back on the outside.
Boy, they are really going at it. Tim Johnson does not want to go away. And as I like to say during real racing, this is as good as it gets in H1 Unlimited Racing. A couple of the fastest race boats in the world tied together side by side. Top end of the race course at the apex. Bring him down, Jeff. Right now it's Miller, but it's only by a boat length and a half. Bring him down to the finish line.
It's going to be a race to the finish. You see Miller in front. Johnson, he's got his foot to the floorboard in second. Start finish line buoy is there, and Quentin Miller wins it in the Graham Trucking, the number 12. Tim Johnson in second in the Goodman Real Estate. Our third place boat will be Fast Eddie Canfouche in the Bucket List KISW Miss Rock. Fourth position will be Bo Rarig in the Bucket List Racing, the 440. Scott Milski was the fifth spot in the Delta Real Track, and Brad, unfortunately, today, my host, Travis Johnson, has went over in the J&Ds, and we did get word that that incident is still under review up in turn number 2 on lap number 1 here in 2B.
And I think we just got it, Jeff. There are no calls.
So no call here in 2B. Your winner, Quentin Miller in the Graham Trucking with Tim Johnson in second. And Brad, after that incident, these two, like you say, were hooked up. You could have threw a blanket over them numerous times during that heat. And Quentin Miller, our season opening winner in Guntersville earlier this year, that's a big win for him going to the third section. Okay, thank you very much, Tate Meyer. With us is our winner of Unlimited 2B, Quentin Miller in the Graham Trucking. Quentin, congratulations. It was a fight up in the front. Big win.
Yeah, glad to get that win there. Was hoping to get one earlier so we could, have the high points go for a little longer there. But yeah, I needed a big win there to at least stay in second and make the final today. Got to thank everybody. My spotter, Matt, he's on the Graham Trucking team, Rob Graham, Troy Graham, all they do for us. All our sponsors for today, Staples of Spokane and Jesse Stitches, Atomic Screen Printing and Spokane Angels. Yeah, I just want to thank them because just happy to be here today for one last time this year. It's been really cool that we've got to do this all year.
Quentin, I've talked to the drivers, the real H1 drivers, and you gamers. This game is so realistic. I was out earlier today before we came live on the broadcast. I was in Travis Johnson's J&Ds, and you were out there with me having some fun. And this thing is so tough and realistic and hard. It takes a lot of getting used to drive these real well at home.
Yeah, me and my brother have been playing this for probably 2.5 years now. Whenever it pretty much Scott came out with it, and we just practice all the time. This is pretty much what we do. It's a good community we have here. I invite everybody to come play it with us. Start practicing and running laps, and then just after some practice, you start getting the repetition. And I don't know if it's like driving a real boat because I have actually never driven one. But this is the opportunity. If you've never driven a real boat and want to experience hydroplane racing, this is a great way to do it.
So to have some fun with you before you go back into real action, we actually touched earlier today in pre-race activity. Did I bear out a little bit? I thought you really came in on me big time.
No, I think you swung out. I was giving you about 4 lanes in there. Come on.
4 lanes?
I was way out. Come on.
Brad, I'm from Rikers Ridge, and I know 4 lanes. There was no way.
I think it was clean.
And congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Hope to talk to you again a little later.
Yeah, I think I'm back here with you. I apologize for that. Do you guys know what the word mute means on a little button over here by your microphone? Apparently, if you hit that, you can't hear me anymore. I inadvertently tripped the wrong button. My fault there to everybody. Hey, H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series, as an organization, would like to thank Staples, your one-stop shop for all your home and office needs with locations in Spokane, Linwood, and Moses Lake. Staples, Think of them when you need your home office needs. Jesse Stitches and Woodshed Embroidery, thanks to them for stepping up all season long and being a proud sponsor of the H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series, along with Atomic Screen Printing from the Tri-Cities for all your embroidery needs as well. And they have a tremendous set of artists on staff there that can draw you up whatever you need. Go to them with your ideas. You'll be surprised what they can create. Also like to thank the Angels Foster Care Community with locations in Spokane, Seattle, and the Olympic Peninsula. Angels Foster Care, where they wrap community around children and families. Sponsorship so important to our boat racing. We don't go racing without them, and I think now we are ready to go with our heat draws for our Heat 3A and Heats 3B. This, Jeff Ayler, this is going to be the last time anybody can earn points to find their way into the final. So the racers are looking at the numbers. Now they're going to be anxious to see what kind of a draw they get. And for that draw, let's turn it over to former H1 Unlimited driver, Mr. John Zimmerman. John, take it away.
This is John Zimmerman at an undisclosed location. I'm going to do the heat draw for the Home Street Bank San Diego Bayfair E-League Heats 3A and 3B. So the first one in 3A is the 98 or the 86, whatever you want. 3B, the 3. 3A, the 9. It's a familiar number. 3B, the 99.9. 3A, 16 or 91. Which is it?
91.
91. 3B, the 7. 3A, the 12. 3B, the 6. 3A, 10. And 3B, the 11. Oh, there's one more. 3A, the 440. So for the Home Street Bank San Diego Bayfair E-League Heat 3A, we have the 98, the 9, the 91, the 12, the 10, and the 440. And for Heat 3B, we have the 3, the 99.9, the 7, the 6, and the 11.
Thank you, John Zimmerman. Good to see John there doing the draw for us. I haven't run into John for a while. Good to see him. He's looking well. Jeff Ayler, we've got our draws now for Heats 3A and 3B. We said it before we went to John. This is it. This is the last opportunity for the boats to earn points and the drivers to earn points and get their way into that all-important winner-take-all final. And as we always say, you got to be in it to win it. This is the last opportunity at points. We started with qualifying. We've been through 2 complete heats of racing. 3A and 3B are on deck. We'll run down the boats that are going to be in those heats as we take to the water. But I think we are just waiting now for our officials to come in our ear, Jeff, and tell us that we're ready to go.
And
but
it was
always
great to see John. Brad, I'm sorry. The 21 wasn't drawn when you saw John on video, but it will be in 3B one. So great to see John Zimmerman at that undisclosed location. Must be at Lake X in Florida. That's my guess.
just down the road. 10 seconds to the 5-minute mark for Heat 3A. And you heard Jeff Ayler say the 21, Mickey Washburn, will show in Heat 3B. We are 2 seconds, 1 mark, 5 minutes. 5 minutes to the start of Heat 3A. Great shot there. As you see all the boats coming away from the dock, you see that long extended, what we call saltwater scoop or saltwater snorkel on the boats there that Jeff was talking about a little bit earlier. That's because the salt water will wreak havoc on a Lycoming turbine engine, and the method of putting the extended snorkel above the cowling and was a way of keeping salt water out of that turbine engine when the boats came away from the dock. That's what they just did. 4 minutes and 15 seconds to the start of Heat 3A. Jeff Ayler, who have we got in this one?
Thank you, Brad Luce. 6 boats for 3A here at the virtual Home Street Bank Bayfair. On board, Tennessee Orange, Bo Rarig. Bucket List Racing. Bo comes in here with 326 points. 8th right now on the ladder. Scott Przybylski, Delta Real Track, had that miscue gun jump back in 2B. Scott, though, still in the points battle here. 5th in points currently with 587. 3rd entrant here for Unlimited 3A. It's the U10 Spirit of Detroit 2. Jeff DeWalt in the seat. 157 points. Brad, he needs some help, needs some luck. March on up the point ladder. Another gold and black craft, the number 91, Goodman Real Estate. Tim Johnson in the seat. Tim having a good day. Right now, Brad, he's at the cutoff line. 6 in points with 519. Next entrant, Quentin Miller, who won our last heat, Unlimited 2, being a good one over Tim Johnson in the Goodman Real Estate. This is the Graham Trucking entry. Quentin Miller looking to score more points to get to the final. And the Graham Trucking American Dream, the red, white, and blue, our final entrant. Matt Johnson having a great day. Our current point leader in our race sequence with 770 points. And Brad, I failed to mention Quentin Miller. He is currently 3rd in points with 655. So quite a few of them in here with a good point total. Some that need some help. We'll see who will be aggressive and who won't be, but with this league, it's pedal to the metal. Don't hold back.
Yeah, nobody seems to hold back in this at all. You talk about Quentin Miller. He had a 3rd place finish in our Heat 1B earlier today and followed it up in Heat 2B with a 1st place finish. So, yes, he's having a terrific day. He's in a very solid position to find his way into the final, as is Matt Johnson, who's got a 1st and a 2nd. So we'll see how they play it. With 25 seconds until the 1 minute mark, 25 seconds inside of it now, coming up on 20. And the park and start is on full display here down on the lower end of the race course. Jeff Ayler, bring him to that exit buoy.
Currently 1 minute and 10 seconds until the start. We go above turn number 1. There's our game creator right there in the lane 1 sequence. 2, 1. Mark, oh, it's going to be close. We'll get a word to see if it's going. Przybylski went over. He cut in the infield. He'll come around on the outside. Brad, they blister up to turn number 2. And I believe that is Tim Johnson. Get lane 1 in the 91.
Yeah, we've had some maneuvering back there, and now movement. There's still some movement going on, but once they get to that entrance pin of the upper corner, they can't change the lane they are in. You mentioned it. It is 91 Tim Johnson driving the Goodman Real Estate. You mentioned at the start of the heat when the boats came out, Tim was 6th in points. He's in a great position right now to score points and further solidify his position for the final. We're inside 15 seconds. Jeff, bring him down to the start of our Heat 3A.
Boy, this looks like a nice alignment. Przybylski trails back. We come to the line. Home Street Bank Bayfair. We're racing in Unlimited 3A. We'll check with the officials on the start as they fly into turn number 1 the first time around. And Brad, we got a bunch of them up there battling up in the front in turn number 1. Tim Johnson, your leader. On the inside in the Goodman Real Estate, Bo Rarig on his hip in second in Bucket List Racing. They come off the corner. Oh, wow, what a vicious blow for back in the pack. Brad up in the front, Tim Johnson in front. Rarig not giving up, clean start.
Yeah, it was a good start. We lost Matt Johnson coming up the backstretch here on lap number 1. But right now, all eyes are up at the front of the pack as his brother, Tim Johnson, in the 91, is trying to hold off a very hard-charging 440 Bucket List Racing and Bo Rarig. There's about 2 or 3 boat lengths between them as they come off the top end of the race course. It'll come down to put 1 in the books with 2 more to go, Jeff.
1 complete, 2 to go. Tim Johnson in front. Goodman Real Estate, the number 91. Bo Rarig is settled back in a second-place position in the Tennessee Orange Bucket List Racing. Top 2. Entering turn number 1, we go above here on the virtual Mission Bay Racecourse. Tim Johnson in front. Bo Rarig in second. Matt Johnson in the 3rd position. Jeff DeWalt in the 4th slot. Brad, we're halfway through it. Goodman Real Estate, your leader.
He is the leader, and Bo Rarig sitting just behind him and on the outside. He would love to be able to run him down and garner the 400 points versus 300. Bo so far has a 4th and a 5th place finish on the day. He needs points, but right now so does Tim Johnson, and he's set up right now if he can hold on to pick up 400 more. Coming off the top end of the race course one more time, coming down to put 2 in the books. He'll get the white flag. 1 more to go, Jeff.
2.5 miles to go to victory for Tim Johnson. Extends the lead slightly in the number 91 Goodman Real Estate. Walks it side to side, entering turn number 1. Bo Rarig, stable 2nd place position right now in the Bucket List Racing. Matt Johnson remains in 3rd. The top 3 in turn number 1. That big left-hand turn on Mission Bay. Half a lap to go, Brad. Tim Johnson looking good to get 400.
And he'll take those 400 points. It hasn't been the best day for him so far, but 400 will certainly make it solid and put him in good position to be into the final heat. He was our 6th place boat in points. He was on the bubble. This will get him into the final heat. Top end of the race course. There's the exit pin. Got a rooster tail and then some on Bo Rarig. Bring him home, Jeff Ayler. Tim Johnson in the 91 Goodman Real Estate.
Record flag waving. Tim Johnson wins at a big 400. He'll safely transfer to the final front row, wins at a Goodman Real Estate. Bo Rarig gets 2nd place in the Bucket List Racing. He came in here 8th in points on our race day card. He'll look to see Henry Beaver and Miller in 3rd. The Graham Trucking in the 4th position. Will that go to Matt?
Scott got 4th.
Scott Milski got 4th in the Jeff DeWalt in the 5th position in the Spirit of Detroit number 2. And for our did Matt Johnson have a problem in the 98? Did he get a
He blew over coming up the backstretch on lap number 1. It was a pretty violent blowover. The boat went way up in the air. And I think you mentioned that Matt, by virtue of a 1st and 2nd place finish in his 2 preliminary heats with our top point getter getting into that heat, it's a good thing he has that cushion because hopefully he will still be able to transfer to the final heat. But he gets a DNF and no points in Heat 3A. Matt Johnson, and the 98. Graham Trucking American Dream. So
I
the
think
boats are...
he'll sneak in and hopefully for him, but I missed that blowover, Brad. My apologies to you and the fans watching, but boy, Tim Johnson, great run on the buoy row, gets the Goodman Real Estate in those 400 points, and with that, he should safely secure himself on the front row of the winner-take-all Home Street Bank Bayfair virtual final heat.
And should Matt transfer as well, which we think he will, you're going to have the brothers Johnson there. The family will be well represented in our final heat with 2 of the 6 boats on the front row. We will wait here and see if we get Tim Johnson to come in and join us. I think he just did. Tim, Tim, you needed points. You were sitting at number 6 in the point total. You were kind of on the bubble to make it into the final going into our Heat 3A. Nothing like a first place finish. That's got to feel good.
You got that right, Brad. I just can't thank Home Street Bank Bayfair, Staples, Jesse Stitches, Atomic Screen Printing, Spokane's Angels, the Miss Madison team, and the citizens of Madison, Indiana, and of course, Goodman Real Estate for giving me this opportunity. I really happy you could get some points on this and make it into the final. I've been missing out on the past few, and I'm really looking forward to putting up a good result.
Well, you put up a good result in that one, and your start was right on the button. Whatever timing marks you had, I'd save those. I might pull those out again. Are you aware what happened to your brother coming up the backstretch there on lap 1?
I'm not. I just heard my spotter say, "Oh, Matt flipped," and I said, "Well, that's too bad for him. I guess I'll just go win this race."
See you later. That's his problem. He'll figure it out. Yeah, he all of a sudden there was a lot of red, white, and blue a long way up in the air, and he went over. But it was good for you, a first place finish. You know it's going to be fun in the final, and when that happens, you're going to have to go 5 times around.
Well, let's do it, Brad.
Let's make it happen. So there you go. Tim Johnson, Goodman Real Estate U91, going to be on the front row of the final. We'll see if his brother makes it as well. We think he will. Congratulations, Tim. Jeff Ayler, I think we're ready to go. It's Heat 3B.
I think we are, Brad. I like that Goodman Real Estate shirt that Tim Johnson was wearing. Kind of part of the group out on Rikers Ridge. Wonder how you get one of those.
Well, with the way you just flopped it out there, Jeff, that might just happen. You never know. There's people listening out there. I didn't get to see that shirt, so very good. That's how you do it here when you have the power of that microphone, right? So we will just wait for our officials, and meanwhile, while they do that, we will remind everybody that H1 Unlimited is a proud club of the American Powerboat Association, the national authority for boat racing in the United States. The APBA is a member-driven organization established in 1903 and headquartered in East Point, Michigan. For more information on the American Powerboat Association or to become a member yourself, head over to their website, apba.org. That's www.apba.org. I think we're ready to go racing. The countdown is about 10 seconds away to the 5-minute mark. Jeff, let's get them ready. We are 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. 5 minutes, Jeff Ayler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There they are. They're all at the dock, and they're all slowly moving away. What a gorgeous sight here in one of the most pretty settings you'll see on the planet, let alone just on H1 Unlimited Racing. San Diego's Mission Bay is something special. It was developed back in the day specifically for boat racing, and it does provide us with some of the most scenic shots we see on the circuit all year, and also, as we've seen today, some of the best boat racing. And the boats can really fly on this big race course. Jeff Ayler, tell us who's going to run in our Heat 3B.
Thank you, Brad Luce. All 6 boats out on the course on board. Here's our top qualifier, 18 years of age, out of Plymouth, Indiana, Cy Bowen. Greg presents Miss Ace Hardware. Brad, he's currently 9th in points. He needs a win. He needs some help. On board with Kelsey Best in the Home Street Blue and White, our virtual Gold Cup winner earlier this year in Madison in the Miss Home Street. Kelsey comes in here with 209 points. He's looking probably to go into the provisional, Brad. Third entrant clinched the National High Point Championship earlier today for the E-League Racers with H1 Unlimited. Fast Eddie Canfouche, Bucket List, KISW Miss Rock. Fast Eddie currently 4th in points. First, second, or third place finish. He'll make the front row of the final. Chartreuse and Carnival Orange, Travis Johnson out of Madison, Indiana, and the J&Ds. 2 times today he's went over. Would like to get some confidence here in the 3rd section. No doubt we'll see the 11 in the provisional. Mickey Washburn, consistent day, Brad. Currently 7th in points with 480. It's the Darryl Strom presents Payne West Insurance, the U21. Mickey wants to score well. See if he can make the top 6. Our final entrant, our Seattle winner 2 weekends ago, having a good day. Currently 2nd in points with 730. It's DJ Miller in the Boitano Homes, the U7, looking to score well, looking to get to the front row of the final and be a repeat winner in the E-League Series. Brad, we're 2 minutes and 20 seconds away. Still lots to determine before the final heat, but this series could have 5 different winners in 5 races. I got a feeling that might happen later today.
It might very well happen later on today. You mentioned DJ Miller, the winner last time out, having a very good day with a 1st and a 2nd place finish in the preliminaries so far. He'd like to score well here, as you said, solidify his place in the final heat. And if he were to pull it off in the final, he would be our first repeat winner. Inside 2 minutes to the start of our heat racing here, coming up on 1 minute and 35 seconds. There's the parking and down in the lower end of the race course. You see Kelsey Best behind everybody. There you get a good look at Mickey Washburn sitting on the inside lane right now. Eddie Canfus just to his right. And then it is DJ Miller in the 7. They go 1, 2, 3. Watch Kelsey Best behind him now. 18 seconds. They'll start to go. Jeff, bring him to the 1 minute buoy.
Coming up on the 1 minute, Washburn would love these 400, then see how the score sheet tallies out for the top 6. Lots to determine before that. We're coming up on the 1 minute period. There it is, and everyone appears to be legal. Bowen was up there quickly. Brad, will he make a left turn? Score up, but I don't think Bowen has the boat lengths to do it. This looks pretty solid for lane assignments.
It does. The other boat we got to watch is Kelsey Best. I don't think he can move over either. It's really close, but he did. Kelsey Best did. He moved over 1, 2. Did he go all the way to 1? Kelsey Best in the home street may have gone all the way to 1. We'll see where he goes around the next buoy. He's sitting in lane 1. He jumped 3 lanes going up the backstretch. Jeff Ayler, he went from 4 to 1, and the officials tell us in my ear it was legal. How about that move by our Gold Cup winner just a few weeks ago, Kelsey Best?
Brad, the loser of this was Mickey Washburn. He appeared to be in 1. He'll be in 5. 3B, here they come. Travis Johnson way on the outside. We're 3, 2, 1. Mark, it appears to be clean. We're racing an unlimited 3B here at the Home Bank Bayfair, and Travis Johnson nailed one out in lane number 6 in the J&Ds. As we fly into turn number 1, you see Johnson way out there. Now that lead goes away with his company to the inside. We come off the turn. I believe that's Cy Bowen in front in the Terminator. And yes, it is. Bowen, DJ Miller, Kelsey Best, and Brad Travis Johnson driving a dandy on the outside.
Almost got your quadruple decker going there. This is really good racing up the backstretch. Cy Bowen, we know the boat is fast. Top qualifier 2 weeks in a row, but he's way out there in lane number 4. And he's got to really keep the RPM up and keep it going as hard as he can. It's just difficult running a course that big. Kelsey Best now showing the importance of lane 1. Got about a 2-boat length lead as they come down and put 1 in the book, Jeff.
What a great job by all 6 drivers here in 3B. It's a battle all over the track. Best in front. And look at the virtual Turbinator out in lane number 3. Bowen not giving up. We go above turn number 1. Best in front, Bowen in 2nd, Miller in 3rd, and fast Eddie Canfus in the 4th position. Brad, they come off the turn. It's Kelsey Best in front. We're halfway through it in a thrilling 3B at the virtual Home Street Bank Bayfair.
This is an incredible heat of racing here. Keep an eye on that orange boat running in 4th position in lane 2. Eddie Canfus is back there. If he can get through these corners clean, he does have an inside lane on the boats to his right. He may be able to make up some ground. Now, coming off the top end of the race course one more time, still Kelsey Best, and then it's a lot of red with the Terminator running in 2nd place. DJ running in 3rd, and back there in the spray is Fast Eddie.
Two complete, one to go. Kelsey Best in front of Miss Homestreet. The battle for second is vicious. Cy Bowen trying to hang on the outside of the virtual turbinator. DJ Miller typing it up. Best in front. Brad, the battles for second. They are side by side off turn number one with Best in front of them. The battle is for second. They're side by side.
They really are, and there's a lot of air underneath that turbinator. Oh, he's flying the boat, trying to get everything out of it that he possibly can. He's running a bigger race course. He knows he's got to push it to the ragged edge, but so far, he's holding about a 2-boat length lead over DJ Miller for second place. Bring him down to the finish line, Jeff.
Kelsey Best will win it. The battle is for second. It's between the two big red boats, and Brad Cy Bowen will get it. And the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. EJ Miller will get the third position. The Volcano Homes in the fourth slot. Eddie Canfoosh in the bucket list KISW Miss Rock. Travis Johnson, who had that smoking start in lane number 6, get the fifth position in J&D's. And our sixth place boat will be Mickey Washburn. Brad in the Darrell Strom presents Payne West Insurance. And Brad, prior to the start, Mickey Washburn appeared to have lane 1 sewed up, and Kelsey Best made that big run up to the entrance pin of turn number 2, had those boat links, and he put the home street blue and white on the buoy row. That was the race-winning move in 3B.
Absolutely, it was the race-winning move, and that was, I don't think we've seen anybody jump quite that far in one of our heats of racing so far this year, but it was necessary from where he was lane-wise going up the backstretch. He got the necessary overlap, dove all the way to that inside lane at the top end of the race course. And to your point, that was the story of Heat 3B. Your winner, Kelsey Best in the Miss Homestreet. Not sure if that's going to put him over the hump and into the final. We'll check with the numbers now. But either way, it was a tremendous race. Kelsey Best got the home street blue and white out front, and that's got to be a good feeling, considering especially, Jeff, we're at the Home Street Bank San Diego Bayfair. And I think we have Kelsey that has just jumped in with us. Kelsey Best, I was just making a comment there that to put the Home Street Bank Unlimited Hydroplane on the E-Series out front at the Home Street Bank San Diego Bayfair, that's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, Brad, definitely wanted to get some good airtime for Home Street Bank. Hasn't been the greatest race today for me so far, but glad to finally get a heat win here. I think I'm still in the Constellation Heat, so we'll be pushing to see if we can get in the final as a trailer. But yeah, it's this series. There's not a lot of room for error with 6-boat heats and everyone so fast. And unfortunately, had a bit of a technical issue in that first heat, so it's hard to come back from DNFs.
It is hard to come back from that. And as you said, as competitive as this tour is, talk me through a little bit about that maneuver after the 1 minute mark. You jumped by my count from lane 4 all the way to lane 1.
Yeah, I knew I was going to be aggressive there. I had to be. And I knew it was going to be close given where everyone was kind of starting. And Jimmy Shane's in my ear again this weekend, thanks to him. And we were watching it that whole time, and normally people start backing off as we get closer to that entrance pin, so I just held it down the whole way and was flying it. So I think I just barely got there.
Well, it was a heck of a move. It resulted in 400 points, and as you said, some airtime for Home Street Bank. The U6, Miss Home Street, a first-place finish in Heat 3B. You got to run the Connie. Go grab yourself something cold to drink and get ready to go, because you've got another heat of racing coming right now.
Thanks, Brad. And if I could, real quick, I also just want to say thanks overall on this season to Home Street Bank and the citizens of Madison, Indiana. It's been an incredible honor representing the city and the team racing this boat. And obviously to our sponsors as well, Staples, Atomic Screen Printing, Jesse Stitches, Angels Foster Care. This has been an incredible weekend. I'm not putting myself out yet, but in case you don't hear from me, I just wanted to say thanks to those folks.
Kelsey, I appreciate that very much. And let me say this in succession with what you just said. You have represented them very, very well. Thank you for all you've done. Get ready to go. Put the helmet on. You're ready to go racing.
Yep. Thanks, Brad. And one last shout out to my wife and son for putting up with me racing on the weekends.
Now,
Thank
that
you,
maybe
guys.
is the most important thing you've said all day, Kelsey.
Best
there
for
you
last.
go.
Thank you, guys.
Kelsey Best right there. He not only thanked all the sponsors, he made sure he's got his wife and kids in there. Smart young man right there, Jeff Ayler.
Brad, that's been a neat part of this E-League series. All the drivers have taken this very seriously. The boat that they've represented, they've mentioned the sponsors, they've mentioned the owners, they've mentioned some cities that own a couple of boats, and I tip my cap to them. They've taken it serious, and it's really been fun to watch this year. We're about to wind it down, but I just wanted to tip my cap to all the drivers with their excellent verbiage given to their owners, sponsors, and teams. They've done a fine job.
It's really part of the whole package that's necessary to be involved in something like this, to be involved where there are sponsors and people that you represent. And it's more than just being the fastest guy on the race course. It's how you handle yourself with the media, how you handle yourself with the fans. And, granted, it's the E-League Racing Series. And right now, Jeff, you and I are the media. And to your point, these guys have handled themselves extremely well. I think H1 Unlimited can be very proud of all of them. And so a tip of the cap from here as well. Jeff, I want to thank our sponsors one more time here before we go to our consolation heat that we're going to run. I want to thank them one more time. And after I do, I'm going to step away from a moment. If I'm away when we come on, pick it up and run with it. I'll be right back with you. But the H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series, about which we're talking and running today, would like to thank your one-stop shop for all your home and office needs. We say it all the time. You know who it is. It's Staples, with their locations in Moses Lake, Linwood, and Spokane. Also like to thank Atomic Screen Printing in the Tri-Cities for all they do, not only for the H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series, but for H1 Unlimited and all of their help with the race sites across the country. Jesse Stitches and Woodshed Embroidery. They've been involved with the E-League Racing Series all year. They are involved with H1 Unlimited as well. We thank them for their participation. And the Angels Foster Care Community, with locations on the Olympic Peninsula of the state of Washington, also in Seattle and Spokane. Angels Foster Care, where they wrap community around children and families. They are the sponsors we want to thank. Next up on our schedule is our consolation heat. Jeff, take it away. I'm going to step away for just a moment.
Thank you, Brad. We're coming up on a countdown. Provisional, inside 10 to the 5 for our consolation heat. The winner of this one will be the trailer boat. 2-1 mark. 5-minute period is underway for the consolation here at the Home Street Bank Bayfair. Our final preliminary heat of the afternoon, the H1 Unlimited E-League Series 2020 version. All 6 boats leaving the dock. You see Fiesta Island in the background. That is the SeaWorld turn right directly behind you right now, as all 6 make their way out on the virtual Mission Bay Saltwater Racecourse. Boats will answer the call. We go on board. This is our top qualifier. He is in the consolation. It's Cy Bowen. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware, the virtual Turbinator. On board with Jeff DeWalt in the U10 Spirit of Detroit 2, the gold and black with the silver effect. Jeff DeWalt out of Michigan. He'd love to win to be the trailer. Third entrant here, Mickey Washburn. Darryl Strong presents Payne West Insurance. Mickey missed lane 1 the last heat out. He'd like to win this provisional to be the trailer for the Home Street Bank Bayfair. Fourth entrant, Kelsey Best, our winner of our last heat 3B, and the regatta sponsor, Miss Home Street, the U6. He's driving for the Citizens of Madison, Indiana. Fifth entrant, the Tennessee Orange, Bo Rarig in the 440. Bo out of Monroe, Washington. He'd love to win, to be behind the front six of the final heat. And our final entrant, Travis Johnson, Chartreuse Carnival Orange, J&D's, the U11. Travis had a smoking start in lane number 6 the last time out. You see here in the race before the race, pointing the Chartreuse and Carnival Orange toward the buoys. Can he hang on to this lane 1 sequence? We're 2 minutes and 40 seconds till our start. 3-lap heat. Go ahead, young man.
No, I was just going to say, Jeff, I am back with you now, and maybe in my ear, I'm going to ask if Tate Meyer can give me a countdown, perhaps to 2 minutes, as we get the boat set up here for our consolation heat, the winner of which will be the trailer.
All 6 boats are up and running, Brad. We're inside the 2-minute mark. Tate will help you with the countdown in the background. 5 boats you see parking right here in front of us. One still up and running attitude. That appeared to be Jeff DeWalt in the Spirit of Detroit 2. Brad, final preliminary heat of the afternoon, and Travis Johnson 3 rooms down from me at my broadcast location. He wants lane number 1 desperately. He wants this win. He wants to be behind those front 6 rooster tails of the final, because this race course has proven before a trailer can actually win a final heat in San Diego. It happened in 1993. Who was that?
That would have been a boat from Madison, Indiana, as a matter of fact. Michael Hansen did that. And we're watching the boats down in the lower corner. Another boat that would really like to win this one is the third one from the inside there. That is the Miss Home Street. We are at the Home Street Bank San Diego Bayfair with 5 seconds to the 1 minute mark. 2-1 mark by my clock. I think it was a clean score up. We'll get it in our ear. Jeff, watch him down the back chute.
Looked legal. Travis Johnson was in 1, but now 1's in front of him. Will they sneak over? And I believe they will, Brad.
Yeah,
traffic there. Kelsey Best comes over, and that's Mickey Washburn again. Now Mickey gets lane 1 this time with Kelsey Best in the 2 slot.
That's the way I've got it as well. And those lanes are secure now. Once they get to the entrance pin at the top end of the race course, they ran hard up the backstretch. I've still got 25 seconds until the start, and they are pretty much coming off the top end of the race course. So they are very early at the exit pin with 17. It's a pretty good run down to the start. Watch them accelerate quickly here, Jeff. Bring them down and start our consolation heat.
Travis Johnson had to go the outside once again. I expect a smoker. And here he comes. We're 2-1 mark. It appears to be clean. We're racing in the consolation here at the Home Street Bayfair. And Travis Johnson jumped the gun on the outside. So his 5 to the inside will vibe. And Jeff DeWalt has gone over in the Spirit of Detroit too. Brad, we got a triple decker. First time of the day off turn number 1. They're halfway up the back chute. It's a dogfight in the consolation.
Mickey Washburn on the inside lane, but I mentioned Kelsey Best wanted to have a good showing here in the Miss Home Street. Right now, he is out front, but he's got a lot of company here. You mentioned the triple decker. He's got boats in either side. Rear view mirror, and over goes Mickey. Mickey went way over more than once. He got way up in the air, but Kelsey is not clean yet. He's still got to go.
Kelsey Best. That incident is under review. Best in front in Miss Home Street. U6 in front in the consolation. Back in the second position. Get a better eye on it here. To tell here from this angle, I'm sorry, Brad. Kelsey Best is in front in the Miss Home Street. That incident up in turn number 2 on lap number 1 is under review. So Kelsey Best halfway through it, Brad, got his fingers crossed. Hope he did not make a mistake. In second, and now Bowens went over in the Turbinator.
Boy, we're having a lot of carnage here in our consolation heat, but the racing is still pretty good. Kelsey Best, he just wants to get the boat in the final. He'll take it, albeit a trailer position. It is the Home Street Bank San Diego Bayfair. He wants to get his boat with the Home Street name on it in that final heat, trailer or not. Bring him down, give him a white flag, Jeff.
One more to go. Kelsey Best comfortably in front. Miss Home Street. Once again, we do have a call under review up in turn number 2 on lap number 1 involving this boat, your leader, and Mickey Washburn, who went over in the Darrell Strong Presents Payne West Insurance. We're down to 3 in the consolation. Best in front comfortably. Rarick in second. Travis Johnson in third. Brad Luce and Kelsey Best hang on, and hopefully the call won't go against him.
Yeah, that's, I think, what they're more concerned about right now. He's got this race comfortably under control. If he can navigate the SeaWorld turn one more time, Bo Rarick chasing him in Tennessee Orange, hoping that maybe that call does go against Kelsey. But Kelsey's off the exit pin. All he can do now is stay where he is and bring the boat home. Bring him down.
Here's your winner, and write it down in pencil, the consolation winner, Kelsey Best and Miss Home Street, the regatta sponsor. Bo Rarick second in the bucket list racing. Travis Johnson will cross in third in the Chartreuse and Carnival Orange. J&D, Brad, we're waiting for the officials, and it is still under review.
Keep an eye on Travis Johnson there, because he's still got an extra lap to run here, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he jumped the gun. So he will continue to run on the race course here, although he's already crossed what appeared to be the start-finish line, but he's got another lap to go. Depending on what happens with Kelsey Best, he could either finish in third or possibly move up to second place.
Thank you, Brad. Sorry about that. Travis was a gun jumper going around one more. Kelsey Best is your official winner, Brad, of the consolation. He'll be the trailer of the final heat. The inquiry sign goes down. He's in.
Kelsey brings it back to the dock there. The beautiful blue and white Miss Home Street representing Madison, Indiana, the citizens of Madison, Indiana, the ownership group of which you are a part, Mr. Ayler. I like to ask you, when we're at real races, just what part of that boat do you own? And I think you've told me it's like the right rear corner, about 1 square inch of the boat.
Well, Brad, as the years trickle on and I get older, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller as far as ownership goes. I'm down to just smidgens. It's down to smidgens. I'm hanging on to some wrapping that helps color these crafts. I'm just hanging on.
You got to start finishing a little higher in the annual golf tournament or something. A good race there. Boy, we had some boats going over. We had boats up in the air. We had boats jumping the gun. That was a busy consolation heat. So before we get to our final heat of racing, let me once again remind everybody that H1 Unlimited is a proud club of the American Powerboat Association, the national authority for boat racing in the United States. The APBA is a member-driven organization established in 1903 and headquartered in East Point, Michigan. For more information on the American Powerboat Association or to become a member, and they would love to have you, head over to www.apba.org. That's www.apba.org. Also like to thank our sponsor, Staples, the H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series presented by Staples. They've been with us all year, and they are, as I say all the time, your one-stop shop for all your home office needs, with locations in Linwood, Moses Lake, and Spokane. The Angels Foster Care Community, with locations on the Olympic Peninsula, Seattle, and Spokane. Angels Foster Care, where they wrap community around children and families. Jesse Stitches and Woodshed Embroidery, been with us all year. Thank you to Jesse Stitches and Woodshed Embroidery for their participation in the sport. And lastly, but certainly not least, the fine folks at Atomic Screen Printing. And Jeff Ayler, as I like to say, you don't have to necessarily patronize our sponsors if you can and you have the opportunity. That is always a good thing to do. But even if you can't, if you happen to be in or see one of these facilities or see some of these people, it doesn't take but just a moment to poke your head in and say, hey, I am aware you did this. Thank you. I enjoyed very much the racing. Thank you as being a sponsor and participating in our sport. Sponsors are critical. So is the final. I think we're just about ready to go, Jeff.
Brad, we'd love all of our sponsors involved, all the years we've been involved. One in particular, Procter & Gamble, when they came on board with Tide in 1992. It's been my laundry detergent every day since 1992. And well, we'd love to have them back, but that just goes to show you, you come into something, catches a consumer's eye and sticks with them.
And you always liked the paint job on that boat and the color scheme. So you knew you were going to fit that in there somewhere. You did a nice job, Jeff. It was a great looking hydroplane. But you are right. And I have done the same thing many, many times, because somebody would say, why do you purchase that product? Well, they're a part of the sport that I enjoy and that I love. So it does make a difference. Thank you to all our sponsors. Final heat time. We're inside 10 seconds to the countdown to the 5-minute mark. We are 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1 mark. 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Jeff, why don't you bring them away from the dock?
Drivers, crank them up.
There we go. Got that in there.
The H1 E-League Series 2020. It's been fun to work, and hope everyone at home has enjoyed it. Final time for the gamers as they take to the track here at the virtual San Diego 2.5-mile race course. It's the Home Street Bank Bayfair. First time today, all 7 boats will go 5 times around. We'll ID the participants as they come out on the race course. On board, Quentin Miller, U12 Graham Trucking. Quentin won the season opener in Guntersville. Quentin on the day, 1 first place finish, 2 third places. Next up, our Seattle winner 2 weekends ago, DJ Miller, 22 years of age in the Botano Homes. DJ on the day, a first, a second, and a third. Third entrant of the 7 in the final, the red, white, and blue, Matt Johnson, the number 98 Graham Trucking American Dream, 1 to watch in the final. Matt on the day, a win, a second, DNF. On board with his brother Johnson in the Goodman Real Estate, the number 91, the black and gold, Tim Johnson on the day, a heat win, 1 second, 1 fourth. Next up, our game creator on his home course, Scott Przybylski out of San Diego in the number 9 Delta Real Track. Scott on the day, a heat win, a fourth, and a fifth. He'd love to win on Mission Bay. Next up, winner of our consolation. This is your trailer boat for the final. The regatta sponsor, Miss Home Street. Kelsey Best Chauffeurs out of Arizona from Mesa. Kelsey on the day, a first, a fourth, a sixth, the Connie to be in the final. And this one is one to watch. Clinched the High Point Championship earlier today in the 2020 H1 E-League. It's Fast Eddie Canfush out of Western New York State in the 99.9 Bucket List KISW Miss Rock. Eddie on the day, Brad. A second, a third, a fourth. He has not won today. Could this be the one he gets in front?
And will we have our 5th winner in 5 races this year? It's all going to play out here. It's a winner-take-all 5-lap final. We're 55 seconds away from the 1-minute mark, but I have to give a shout-out here to Scott Przybylski, the game creator. Jeff, did you notice as you were giving the IDs of all the boats in the final, as the boats were going down both the back and the front stretch with the camera view from the wing, you could actually see that we were now working in a late afternoon sun, and the sun was on the proper west side of the race course, the shadows on the boats. This game is virtual. It is virtually identical to what that course would look like. 20 seconds until the 1 minute mark. It's a winner take all final, Jeff. Bring them to the 1 minute mark.
Coming up on the 1:15 mark, after have your boat behind this exit pin of turn number 1 prior to 1 minute. Fast Eddie Canfish looks to be in prime real estate to get that. DJ Miller to his outside. Tim Johnson coming up on the outside. There's the 1 minute period, and it looked like everyone was legal. And Brad Johnson was on that part of the way out there. The score-up was clean, and Fast Eddie is tucked back. Did the 3 in front have enough room to move over?
I don't think they do. I think Eddie was able to defend it. It's getting tight up there at the top end of the course. Eddie might get wet as they get in there. And Eddie has hit a buoy, and he has now gone far to the outside. 30 seconds until the start still. And, there's boats moving around now. Wow, Kelsey Best, is that? No, that is Matt Johnson. From where I was watching, Jeff, it appeared as though he changed the lane after he went by the entrance to turn 2. But 15 seconds, call them as they are on the water. Quentin Miller sitting in 1.
Bilski in 2. Matt Johnson in 3. Here we come for the final heat. 2, 1. Mark, we're racing in the virtual Home Street Bank Bayfair. Appears to be a good start as they fly into turn number 1. The first of 5 times around. Quentin Miller in lane number 1, and your game creator, Scott Przybylski, in front in Delta Real Track. Przybylski, your leader, but he's got company on the inside, and Quentin Miller. They are deck to deck off the turn, back of the pack. Brad Przybylski looking to win on home waters.
He's got about a 2-boat length lead. We lost Tim Johnson coming out of the lower corner. You saw him blow over on the far right side or left side of your screen. Watch Przybylski. We mentioned earlier, wouldn't it be something if our game creator could pull off a win on home waters in this, the 5th and final race of the season? But right now it is a dead heat between Scott Przybylski, Quentin Miller coming down to put the first of 5 in the books. This is really going to be a good one, Jeff.
Deck-to-deck racing. 1 complete, 4 to go. The score-up is under review for the final heat here at the Home Street Bank Bayfair. But it's a battle up in the front. Quentin Miller to the buoy row. Scott Przybylski on his hip. They have been tangled throughout this final. Now Miller takes the lead off the turn. Przybylski drops back 2 boat lengths. Brad, we're 1.5 in, 3.5 to go, and Przybylski fighting back.
Przybylski finding some more beans about halfway down the backstretch, and it looks like he's pulled up alongside. Quentin Miller driving the 12, the Graham Trucking. It's the 9, Delta Real Track. He gets to the entrance pin of the corner first, but it's Quentin Miller with the lane advantage on the inside. I suspect they're going to get to the exit pin virtually dead even. They are off the corner, and they will come down to put 2 in the book. Quentin Miller, Jeff, we're being told, has apparently gone inside the race course. That is going to put Scott Przybylski way out in front here as we start lap number 3.
2 complete, 3 to go, and with that, Brad, you are exactly right. Przybylski, a comfortable lead on his home track, the virtual Mission Bay Racecourse. Scott Przybylski, he is at the halfway mark of the Home Street Bank Bayfair final heat, and Brad, the number 9, he was in lane number 2. He has drove a dandy, and now it's just a matter of keeping it all together.
He's got to keep it all together. As you said, he's halfway through. He's beyond that now. He's got company behind him, but the race is his right now. Find the clean water, keep your boat solid, and make sure your spotter's talking to you. I'm sure he is. He's telling him exactly where the competition is. Bring him down to put 1 more in the book. He's got 2 to go, Jeff.
3 complete, 2 more to go for Scott Przybylski, walking the number 9 Delta Real Track across the start-finish line buoy in the first place position. We go into the second position. Brad, I believe Matt Johnson is in the second position in the Graham Trucking American Dream. but Scott Przybylski from the view above turn number 1, 3.5 in, 1.5 to go with that setting sun in the afternoon at Mission Bay. Brad, this could be a big win and a happy camper. Still work to do.
He would be very, very happy indeed. He's got a little over a lap still to go. You see the late afternoon sun glisten off the white cowling and deck of that 9 Delta Rail track. The game's creator, Scott Przybylski, is your leader. Second place goes to Matt Johnson. Eddie Canfouche running in third. Give him a white flag, Jeff.
4 complete. 1 more to go. Scott Przybylski accepts it. 2.5 miles to go to victory at the virtual Home Street Bank Bayfair. Przybylski started in lane number 2, had a battle with Quentin Miller early on. Quentin went inside the race course. That was a violation, a penalty. You see from above, Przybylski exit the turn. Brad, half a lap to go for the championship heat win.
Up the backstretch, half a lap to go, as you say, Jeff Ayler. Could it be 5 winners in 5 races? You want to talk about parity in boat racing? This is it. Scott Przybylski on home waters just has to navigate the SeaWorld turn and then come down by you, Jeff Ayler. Bring home our winner of our Home Street Bank San Diego Bayfair.
Still driving aggressive to the pins. He walks it from side to side. Checkered flag out. Here's your winner of the virtual Home Street Bank at Bayfair, Scott Przybylski in the Delta Rail Track game creator. 5 winners in 5 races on the H1 2020 E-League Series. Matt Johnson will get the 2nd position, and Graham Trucking American Dream flying up there in the 3rd spot. I believe that's past Eddie in the bucket list KISW Miss Rock. Quentin Miller, he had that unfortunate penalty. So Przybylski wins it. Matt Johnson in the 2nd position. Fast Eddie Canfouche hits the podium in 3rd in the bucket list KISW Miss Rock. Quentin Miller will get the 4th place finish, and Kelsey Best in the 5th place spot. We're hearing over the official radios. Brad Luce, what a way to wrap up the 2020 H1 E-League Racing Series. And I think a lot of people will be happy that the Green Creator won the final one.
Yeah, I think it's only fitting on some level. I think we mentioned it during the 2nd set of heats. Wouldn't it be something if on home waters, the guy who pulled this whole thing together and created this masterpiece and has perfected it over the last 6, 7, 8, 10 years could be the winner of our final race of the season. And as we said just a moment ago, during the final lap, we ran 5 races with this group in this organization. We had 5 different race winners. I think Eddie Canfouche is the only driver to make it to the podium 3 times. I know that we had. So we got some things to sort out here. Eddie did hit a buoy before the start, so he's not going to make it on a podium. But he was one of our drivers that was certainly the most consistent all year long, and that is evident by the fact he will take the 99.9 off of that boat next year, Jeff, and he'll put a 1 on it because he's our defending national high point champion. Congratulations both to Eddie Canfouche and Scott Przybylski.
Great way to wrap up the season for the H1 E-League. You saw Eddie come back in, Scott Przybylski, and Brad Luce. You're right there on the dock. I don't see you. We need an image of you so you can enter our winning driver.
Yeah, I was looking for the crew to come down and jump on the deck there and yank him out of the cockpit and shower him with congratulations, but that's about where the virtual part of the race ends. And I'm going to apologize to the fans a little bit, but maybe not, because I mentioned during the run up to the 1 minute buoy how the graphics were so incredible at the boats on both the front and the back straightaway. I noticed that all of a sudden the view had changed. It was a late afternoon setting sun. As we get in San Diego, it is in the west, and the shadows as they work their way across the boat Scott Przybylski is constantly working on this game to make it better and better and better. And we've seen it all year long. And that really stuck out to me as we were setting up for that final heat. Just amazing. And I think, speaking of Mr. Przybylski and the game creator, about the second heat today, Scott, I said, wouldn't it be only fitting if the guy who created this whole game and created this whole platform and continuously improves it could show up and stand atop the podium and be the winner on home waters in our fifth and final race of the year. Congratulations, Scott. Put it into words for us.
Thanks. I'm just so stoked. I could not imagine. I couldn't believe that. I don't know. I'm speechless. My heart was racing that whole race.
Well, I was just talking to everybody, and I said it before the race actually started, and I was just saying it again. The graphics on this, as we look at the racing, when you cross the start-finish line, our view gets really blurred because you're looking right into that blinding sun to the west, and you had it spot on the racing. And then as the boats were scoring up and going around the race course prior to the start, you had the shadows moving on the boat. You had the sun always on the proper side, shadows going the right way. This is really something, and I bet in the back of your mind you got about 10 things you'd like to make better for next year.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know. I try to make it as realistic as I can, and I'm always trying to improve it. It's just so cool.
There was a lot of activity on that race course. There was a lot of activity before the start, but you got yourself where you wanted to be. You nailed the start. You had your hands full, but you handled your race boat. You got it done. And you and Quentin Miller were putting on a whale of a show there for a while until he unfortunately hooked and went inside the race course. Then it was just a matter of keeping your boat square and on the water.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he was racing me hard. I wasn't sure if we touched or what happened there, but there weren't any calls. So.
Well, I thought at one point he was going to get away from you about lap number 2 up the backstretch there. He opened up a couple 2, maybe 2.5 boat lengths on you. And both Jeff Ayler and I thought maybe he was going to get away from you a little bit, especially being on the inside. And you showed an amazing amount of shoot speed. The thing was really running.
Yeah, I had a good turn, and then I was just trying to fly it as much as I could so he didn't get away. And then I just tried to hold him tight so he couldn't get any more ground on me. And it worked out.
It worked out very, very well. Congratulations. Jeff Ayler, you are on here as well. You got something you'd like to say to Mr. Przybylski?
Brad, I would. Thank you. And Scott, congratulations. This has been so fascinating to be a part of most of these races this year. Brad and I have just had a ball calling them. What kind of reaction are you getting from fans around the world coming to this game that you created?
Everybody seems pretty excited about it. We've had a huge influx of people joining. Because we have another league that we're gonna start in September, and we've had like 45 people sign up.
Wow.
45. Now
So that'll be interesting.
I mentioned at the beginning of the show that boat counts were expected to be up in 2020. I didn't know they were going up that high.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's most I've ever seen.
this takes a ton of work, and you're creating this game on the current status of the sport with the H1 Unlimited Hydroplane Series. For old guys like Brad and I, how much work would it be to go back, say if you wanted to start a league and race the 1975 season with the Wing Wonder Pan Pack, the Rice Fields, the Lincoln Thrift, the Miss US? How difficult would that be to do?
It'd be cool. It'd definitely take a little while to model all the boats, but maybe someday. Back when I used to have an older game. It's called a Hydro Mod, and we had a bunch of vintage boats in that game. So I don't know. Someday I'll probably bring them back, but still trying to get some other things done in this game first before I start doing that.
Great visiting with you. Go celebrate.
All right. Also, I just want to give a big thank you to Delta Real Trek for letting me drive their boat, the whole U9 team. And also special thanks to Staples for sponsoring this whole series. It's been awesome. Thanks, guys.
Well, and Scott, I'm going to take a leap of faith here, but I think I'm 100% sure I'm right on this one. I will say thank you on behalf of hydroplane racing fans everywhere. There was an idea about doing this virtual racing, but had it not been for you and your platform, there wouldn't have been any racing. So a heartfelt thanks on behalf of all fans everywhere. Thank you for what you did, and congratulations.
You're welcome. Glad I could help, make things a little better in these trying times. So,
well, help you did. So now, as what Jeff Ayler said, go celebrate a little bit. You have earned it, my friend. Nicely done.
Right. Thank you.
Wow, Jeff, that was. I think he was pretty excited. He just kept laughing.
Oh, I know it, and he was tickled, and I'm sure he'll be joined the rest of the day out in picturesque San Diego. Brad, that's going to do it for 2020. And Brad will go over the final order of finish. But Brad, I wanted to thank you, and right now I won't be able to help with the Drivers Invitational San Diego weekend because we have our vintage event, Madison Vintage Thunder, in memory of Gene Johnson. And Brad, every time you and I work a race, both of us are the biggest kids in the candy store. We're no doubt two of the most elder statesmen that's been helping with this year. Always great working with you. Travis Johnson, thank you for allowing me to come out to be a part of this. And Brad, the Johnson family here in Madison's always been good to Jeff Ayler, and I'd be remiss if I didn't thank them. And without Travis, I couldn't have come out and helped, and I would have lost out on a lot of fun. I like that.
Well, it took us about 4 weeks to finally convince you needed to come out here and give the old guy here a hand with this, and I'm so glad you did. When you and I get together, as you say, we're the oldest kids in the candy store. We also get the Mutual Admiration Society up and running full bore. But Jeff, working with you has just been it's been a treat over the years, and doing this virtual E-League racing was nothing different. And this was a lot of fun. Thank you for coming out and joining us here. I think we're waiting for some final results that we're going to put up. I don't have them yet where I can see them on my screen, but when they come up, we will run them down. And I can't quite see it. I've got a little, but we do know, and it has been confirmed, that Scott Przybylski was our winner. Our second place, I believe, went to Matt Johnson in the 98. Our third place finisher was Kelsey Best, was our third place finisher, driving the U6, the Miss Home Street. Quentin Miller driving the 12, the Graham Trucking. He will come home in fourth place. Our fifth place finisher is our newly crowned defending national high point champion, or he will be the defending national high points champion next year. Eddie Canfouche finishing in fifth place due to a buoy incident. And DJ Miller, our winner in Seattle, and Tim Johnson both did not finishes in our final heat. So that's the way they finish here on the fifth and final H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series event of the year. It was our Home Street Bank San Diego Bayfair Championship. It was a good one. And this is where I normally say thank you to everybody for everything that they have done. It goes a little bit stronger this time because this is our fifth race and final race of the series. Again, I want to reiterate, we ran 5 races this year. We had 5 different winners, parity at its very, very best. A special thanks, not only for today, but for the entire season, to our producers, our engineers, our commissioners, our referee. These 2 kids, Jared and Tate Meyer, what they do behind the scenes, not only for the E-League racing, but for H1 Unlimited in general, is unequaled. And we thank them so very, very much. Trust me when I say H1 Unlimited is better because of those 2 gentlemen. Also, special thanks to Scott and Shannon Rainey and their entire family for all of their help behind the scenes. You have no idea how much work they are doing and what is going on in their lives right now with everything they have going on. They take the time out to make sure we have this show, and it was a good one. Thanks to you, Jeff Ayler. As I said earlier, always a pleasure working with you. It's been a great season, and congratulations today to both Scott Przybylski for winning our final race of the season and for Eddie Canfouche, who was crowned our National High Points champion in the inaugural H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series presented by Staples. Normally at this time, I say we'll see you down the road at the next particular race. Going to change it up a little bit. We have a driver's invitational race coming up in still a couple of weeks, but for our E-League Racing Series, this is the final chapter. This is the final race. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll look forward to not necessarily doing it again next year, because we look forward to seeing all of you at the real race sites as we take to the water again in 2021. I know I will be there. Jeff will be there. We hope you will be too. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you later. Good night.